Today, we're diving deep into one of Django's most killer features, the admin interface. At first, it kind of feels like magic, right? Well, our goal today is to pull back that curtain and turn that magic into a powerful, customizable tool that you can totally master.
I mean, just think about that for a second. That's the core promise of the Django admin. It's this incredible, automatically generated portal that literally just reads your Python models and builds a whole user interface for you. It's all about rapid development and getting your internal tools up and running like yesterday.
So here's our game plan. We're going to break this down into 5 key parts. We'll kick things off with the absolute fundamentals, then get into the fun stuff, customizing the UI and making it lightning fast. After that, we'll cover the super important topic of security, and finally, we'll look at how you can supercharge your admin with the amazing third-party ecosystem.
All right, let's start at the beginning. Before we can really master the Django admin, we got to understand what it is and, what it was really designed for.
Okay, so what is it really? The Django admin is basically an introspection engine. That's a fancy way of saying it looks at your models.py files and just builds a UI on the fly. Now here's the crucial part. It's designed for trusted internal users. We're talking about your staff, your content editors, not the public. And that design choice is absolutely fundamental. We'll definitely come back to this when we talk about security later on.
So what's the secret sauce here? Well, it all starts in your settings.py file with just a few key ingredients. Of course, you need django.contribute.admin itself, but it also leans on other apps like auth to handle all the users and permissions and content types for that cool model introspection we just talked about. And, you need the middleware to stitch it all together on every request.
So how does the admin protect itself right out of the gate? Well, the very first line of defense is just a simple little checkbox on the user model, is staff. If that isn't set to true, a user can't even get to the login page. This creates this really clean, hard separation between your regular app users and your internal admin team.
Okay, so the default admin works. It gets the job done. But the real power, the real fun, comes from customization. This is where we grab the steering wheel and take control of that auto-generated interface using a super powerful class called ModelAdmin.
Now, you can register a model with just one simple line of code, but to really unlock its potential, you're going to want to use the decorator pattern. This lets you define a whole dedicated ModelAdmin class and link it to your model with this really clean, readable syntax. It just keeps your configuration tidy and easy to find. And inside that ModelAdmin class, you get all these awesome tools. You can use fields to control the exact order of everything, exclude to hide stuff that users don't need to see, and field sets to group related information under nice, clear headings. Oh, and for many-to-many fields, filter horizontal is a total game changer, so much better than a clunky multi-select box.
All right, we've made our admin look good. Now let's make it fast. A feature this dynamic can have some hidden costs, and the most common trap is something called the N+1 query problem. And trust me, if you want a professional-grade admin, you've got to crush this bug. It's totally non-negotiable.
So what the heck is this N+1 problem? Well, imagine your admin list shows 50 articles, and next to each one, it shows the author's name. By default, Django might make one query to get all 50 articles, and then 50 times more queries, one for each article, just to get the author's name. That's 51 database trips for one page load. Yeah, that doesn't scale.
This image just says it all, doesn't it? One simple action from the user results in this massive flood of database requests. And this isn't just a tiny inconvenience. As your app grows, this performance bottleneck can bring your admin to a grinding halt. It's frustrating for your team and it kills productivity. But luckily, there's a really easy fix.
And the solution is, believe it or not, surprisingly simple. We just override the getQuerySet method in our ModelAdmin and use something called selectRelated. This tells Django, hey, go grab that related author data in the first query using a join. And the results? They speak for themselves. We go from 73 queries all the way down to just 6. The page load time is literally cut by 2/3.
Just let that sink in for a second. A 91.8% reduction in database queries with just one line of code. This is huge. It's not just about the numbers. It's about giving your admin users a smooth, snappy experience so they can do their jobs without waiting around. Seriously, if you display related fields in your admin, you have to use selectRelated or prefetchRelated, period.
Okay, our admin is creaty, it's fast, now let's make it a fortress. I mean, the admin holds the keys to your entire database, so protecting it isn't just a nice-to-have feature, it's a fundamental part of being a professional developer.
So, how do we build this fortress? Let's do a quick checklist. 1. Are you hiding your front door? You have to change the admin URL from the default /admin/. 2. Are you using a second key with multi-factor authentication? 3. Are you managing permissions with groups instead of individuals? And finally, 4. Are you being super strict about who gets to be a super user?
That third point about groups gets at a core security idea, the principle of least privilege. Basically, instead of giving permissions directly to users, you assign them to groups like content editors or moderators. It makes everything so much easier. New editor joins, add them to the group. Someone leaves, remove them from the group. It seriously cuts down on mistakes and makes auditing a breeze.
And the best part is, you don't have to build this fortress from scratch. The Django ecosystem gives you this whole arsenal of security tools. Changing the URL? That's just a quick edit in your urls.py. For MFA, a package like Django OTP is the way to go. And if you want to get really clever, you can set up a honeypot at the old admin/URL to log and identify any bots trying to break in.
The core Django admin is just incredible, but its real genius might be how extensible it is. So for our last section, let's explore how the massive ecosystem of third-party packages can take your admin to a whole new level.
Don't like that default look and feel? No problem. You can change it completely. For a really slick, modern vibe, Django Unfold uses Tailwind CSS. If you're more into a traditional, data-heavy dashboard, Jasmine is a fantastic choice built on Bootstrap. And of course, there's Django Grappelli, a super reliable, long-standing option for a clean layout.
But it's not just about looks. You can add some seriously powerful features. Need to let your users bulk upload data from a spreadsheet? Bam, Django Import Export. Need a full audit trail of who changed what and when? Django Simple History has your back. Want your users to be able to reorder items just by dragging and dropping? Yeah, there's a package for that too.
So if you're going to remember anything from this, what are the golden rules for mastering the Django admin? First, always remember it's for trusted staff only. Second, performance is key, so always prefetch your related data. And third, security is not optional. Hide that URL and turn on multi-factor authentication.
You know, this quote really hits the nail on the head. Even after all these years, the Django admin's mix of crazy fast development, deep customization, and a killer ecosystem keeps it at the top of its game. It's just a beautiful piece of software architecture. So there you have it. The framework gives you the foundation for an unbelievably powerful control panel, right out of the box. So the only question left is, what's the first change you're going to make? Are you going to go hunt down that N+1 query, lock down your security, or maybe try out a cool new theme? The power is all yours.